Shannon Sharpe, leave that white alone.
Shannon Sharpe is heated after MoNique clowned him during her comedy show, taking shots at his messy legal drama with the OnlyFans model who's coming for him with a $50 million lawsuit. The clip of MoNique roasting Shannon blew up online, and word is Shannon's fuming because he thought his famous friends would stand by him, but instead, he's getting roasted like it's a cookout. Sources close to Shannon say he feels betrayed, but fans are quick to remind him. MoNique already warned him months ago on Club Shishi. She straight up told him to stop chasing young girls who only see dollar signs. But Shannon just laughed it off like it was a joke. Now look, Shannon's name is getting dragged through the mud. Even if he beats the lawsuit, $1 million podcast deal, hanging by a thread, sponsors are ghosting him, and even his inner circle is acting brand new, it's getting real cold around Shannon these days. But what exactly did MoNique say this time? That's got Shannon so salty, especially when she was the one trying to keep him out of trouble. Let's get into it. A lot of folks were shook when the news dropped that Shannon Sharpe is getting sued for serious allegations. But guess who wasn't surprised? MoNique. She tried to school him way back, warning him that running after young girls was gonna land him in hot water. But Shannon just brushed it off like it was no big deal. So when the drama between Shannon and the OnlyFans model exploded, everybody was waiting to hear what MoNique had to say, and she didn't hold back. During a stop on Cat Williams' Heaven on Earth comedy tour, MoNique finally spoke up and reminded everyone. She tried to save him from himself, but he wasn't trying to hear it. And honestly, MoNique just said what everybody else has been thinking. Shannon walked himself right into this mess. For a little background, after the lawsuit news went viral, a clip from MoNique's interview on Club Shishi back in February 2024 started making rounds again. In that clip, MoNique straight up told Shannon he had no business dating girls half his age or younger. MoNique has always been a firecracker. Some folks love her raw honesty, while others say she's too harsh or acts like she's better than everybody. Comes to this Shannon Sharpe mess, even people who usually roll their eyes at MoNique are saying she was dead on right. In that interview, she wasn't just throwing shade, she was talking straight to Shannon, warning him that his wild lifestyle and his choice of women could blow up in his face. But Shannon, man, he just sat there giggling like a little kid, acting like she was just cracking jokes, and kept chasing after OnlyFans girls like nothing could touch him. Fast forward a year, and now he's out of his ESPN gig, facing a lawsuit that could cost him millions. It's a straight-up disaster. Now folks are pulling up that old interview and saying MoNique spotted all the red flags before anybody else even noticed. One fan put it best. One thing about MoNique, she can tell a joke, but she won't tell a lie. Shannon Baldhead should have listened instead of laughing. Now look at you. Another fan didn't hold back either, writing, Shannon Sharpe deserves what happened to him. I don't know who was advising him in private, but he had 3 guests on his show, Cat Williams, MoNique, and Lil Yachty, all trying to school him about his bad dating choices. Word on the street is Shannon Sharpe's real mad that MoNique is cracking jokes about his mess. And insiders say he really thought his famous buddies would come rushing to defend him. But guess what? Almost nobody stepped up to back him, and that silence says everything. Fans ain't exactly shedding tears for Shannon either.
That's why she repeated it back to him, because he said it to her first. Older men, that's why they tend to want to be with younger women. They're more impressionable. They can mold them. They can shape them to be what they want them to be, do what they want them to do. You let him come to a 40 or 50-year-old woman talking about put a big black baby and baby gravy. We gonna be looking like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, that started with him. Mark my words, it's gonna come out.
Because to a lot of people, this lawsuit just feels like the final straw after years of wild behavior. Shannon's name been buzzing for all the wrong reasons for a long minute now, and now even more shady receipts are popping up, showing a side of him folks tried to ignore. One clip that's blowing up right now shows Shannon straight up losing his cool on his podcast. It happened during the April 30th episode of Nightcap. While talking about the 2025 NFL Draft, Shannon suddenly snapped, looked off camera, and shouted, "Shut the F off." The whole vibe turned real messy, real quick, and that's just one piece of the drama. Shannon also caught major heat for some wild comments about his daughter's wedding budget. This man, who allegedly offered that OnlyFans model $10 million to stay quiet, went on Nightcap and said he wouldn't drop more than $30,000 on his daughter's wedding. He even joked about serving spaghetti and fried fish at the reception to save some cash. It didn't take long before fans started torching Shannon Sharpe over his wild comments, especially after folks remembered he literally admitted in those leaked texts that the OnlyFans model was charging him $25,000 for each cheek. One fan put it bluntly, it needed to happen to expose how much of a hypocrite Shannon is. He lost what little respect he had left, giving an ex-worker millions, but his own daughter only $30,000 for her wedding? But hold up.
I was once dating this chick, right, Skip, and she was married, but she was getting a divorce. I knew I wanted her. I said, you know what? I'll pay for the divorce because I believe she was the one. That's what I did. I said, why you arguing about this? He wouldn't sign the papers. I said, why you arguing about this little bit of money? I gave her the money, filed the divorce because I believe. I keep it 100 with y'all here, Skip, but I did that.
It gets even messier. Fans are now calling out Shannon for getting into some creepy racially charged mess with that OnlyFans girl, Gabriella. Those leaked texts show Gabriella saying she wanted Shannon to put a big black baby in her, and while Shannon didn't leak his side of the convo, fans are convinced this whole weird race play fantasy was his idea. After all, Gabriella's a paid worker. Chances are she was just playing along with whatever Shannon was into. Meanwhile, even more receipts are surfacing, and it's making Shannon look even worse when it comes to women. In one old clip that's blowing up again, Shannon brags about how he wanted a woman so bad, he paid for her divorce because he thought she was the one. If you peep the comments, fans are saying this is exactly why they stopped tuning into Shannon and Ocho's show. Nobody was trying to hear an almost 60-year-old man talk nonstop about his wild bedroom stories. It got tired real quick, and a lot of people just tuned out. Meanwhile, even more voices from the industry are dragging Shannon now. Dr. Umar chimed in, saying straight up, even if this lawsuit ends up being a cash grab, Shannon had no business messing around with a 19-year-old. Dr. Umar also pointed out that Shannon should have caught the red flags early when Gabriella allegedly refused to sign an NDA. That alone should have had him running the other way. So now with all this dirt piling up, fans ain't feeling sorry for Shannon at all. And they're making it real clear. Shannon's got no right to be mad at MoNique for roasting him on stage. She actually tried to help him out when she dropped some real talk during that Club She interview. She warned him to tighten up, but instead of listening, Shannon just laughed it off and kept wilding out. Gabriella is coming for $50 million in damages.
You would think that in the aftermath of all of these cases that's going on, that Shannon Sharpe or any black male celebrity for that matter will conduct themselves in a more responsible manner. So what do we know about this situation? According to Gabriella Zuniga, she met Shannon Sharpe at a gym in Los Angeles approximately 2 years ago.
And real talk, it's not even clear if Shannon's bank account can survive a hit like that. Celebrity net worth reports put Shannon's fortune at around $30 million. Back when he was playing in the NFL, he pulled in about $22.5 million total, with his biggest payday being $5 million from the Baltimore Ravens on a 4-year, $13.8 million contract. Nowadays, Shannon's stacking about $10 million a year from his podcasts, brand deals, media gigs, and his fancy cognac brand, Le Portier. But even with all that hustle, he's still trailing behind his First Take co-host, Stephen A. Smith, who's sitting on around $45 million. And Stephen A. just made even bigger headlines after locking down a 5-year, $100 million deal, making him one of the highest paid sports analysts out there, right behind Tom Brady. Now here's the part that'll make you shake your head. Shannon was this close to securing his own $100 million deal before Gabriella hit him with that lawsuit. Before all this drama exploded, Shannon was in deep talks for a monster podcast deal that would have locked in all his shows under Shishi Media, including Club Shishi, Nightcap with Chad Johnson, Club 520 Podcast, The Bubba Dub Show, and Humble Baddies. On April 18th, just 3 days before Gabriella's lawsuit went public, Front Office Sports reported that Shannon was expected to ink a deal worth more than $100 million. But now, that whole bag is on hold, and if it falls through, it's going to be a massive loss for Shannon. Now, just to keep it real, even if the case doesn't go Shannon Sharpe's way, Gabriella still might not walk away with that $50 million she's demanding.
2023. Now, Shannon alleges that he tried to present her with an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, which every celebrity should require from anyone they engage with. Well, guess what, Art? She decides she's not going to sign the NDA. That right there was a warning to Shannon Sharpe that this 19-year-old, who you shouldn't be dating anyway because of her age, because of her race, you need to end this. If she don't want to sign an NDA dating a celebrity, you know what that means.
Civil lawsuits involving SA are tough to win, especially when the line between what's consensual and what's not gets all messy. There's still a real shot that Shannon won't be found responsible at all. He might even walk away without having to cut a single check. But here's the thing. Even if Shannon beats the case and doesn't have to pay a dime, his reputation is already cooked. We've all seen those leaked texts, and we heard that audio where Shannon allegedly threatened to choke Gabriella. That's the kind of stuff you can't just sweep under the rug. So even if the court clears him, it don't erase what people now know about how Shannon gets down behind the scenes. This ain't just about guilt or innocence. This is about image. And that's where the real damage hits. Big companies like Disney, which owns ESPN, don't care about court rulings. They care if your name starts blowing up for all the wrong reasons. They care about headlines, bad press, and how the public sees you. And right now, Shannon's looking like a major liability. A lot of brands are gonna think twice before linking their name to his, even if he's technically in the clear. Shannon Sharpe built himself a solid fan base over the years, and everybody loves a good comeback story. But after everything that's gone down, that road to redemption just got way longer and a whole lot rougher. And let's be real, it's all because of his own choices. He had people like MoNique and Cat Williams trying to put him on game, but he ignored every warning, stayed surrounded by the wrong crowd, and ended up knee-deep in a situation he should have known better than to even touch. The biggest mistake, getting caught up with that young OnlyFans model. And it wasn't just the crazy age gap, it's the messy power dynamics, the racial fetish stuff, all of it. You know, big companies like Disney want no part of that kind of drama tied to their brand. But what do you think about all this? Does Shannon Sharpe still have a real shot at bouncing back from this whole disaster? Or is his image too damaged to ever fully recover? And when it comes to MoNique, do you think Shannon's got a right to be mad she's using this whole situation for jokes? Or is it fair game since she literally tried to help him and he laughed it off? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe, share this video with your friends, and stay locked in. You don't want to miss what's coming next.